Hey everyone, this is Professor Clark, and this is going to be a very short little lecture on types of simple sentences. And the reason this is important is because Russian very commonly uses subjectless sentences. So it's helpful to understand how simple sentences work in Russian and how we can have these subjectless sentences in these common usages in Russian. So there are two basic types of simple sentences in Russian. There are 2-unit sentences and 1-unit sentences. 2-unit sentences are sentences that have both a subject, so the person or the thing that is doing the action, and a predicate, the thing the subject is or is doing. And we've talked a lot about the predicate with the nominative case and the lack of the verb to be, and how we can say, something is something. And when something is something, that thing that they are is the predicate. And an example here is Mama преподаватель. My mother is a university instructor. Mama is the subject, and преподаватель is the predicate. We could also have Mama преподает математику. Mama teaches math. And here, Mama is the subject again, and then преподает is the thing that she does, so it is the predicate. So the predicate can be either the thing the subject is or the thing the subject does. And again, 2-unit sentences will have both a subject and a predicate. 1-unit sentences will have either a subject or a predicate. And we can have a sentence that only has a subject. For instance, we could say, Кто это? Mama. Who is this? My mother. And mama there is a complete sentence that is just one word, the subject. Or we could say, Что у тебя есть в комнате? What do you have in your room? Кровать, стол, стул, компьютер. A bed, a table, a chair, a computer. And that list of nouns, that is the subject of the sentence, and it is all in the nominative, and all we have is just a series of subjects. Sentences that only contain the predicate are quite common in Russian. Here are some of the common examples of such sentences. We can have a sentence that just has the conjugated form of a verb. It does not have the pronoun or the person that is the subject of the verb. It just has the conjugated form of the verb. And because Russian has a full conjugation of each verb, you don't always have to include the subject to know who is performing the action. So for instance, Что ты делаешь? Читаю книгу. In the answer, читаю книгу, there's no ya, we leave it out, and we just have the verb in the ya form, and that makes it clear who is performing the action. So no subject, just the predicate, just the verb. Another very common subjectless sentence in Russian that only contains the predicate without the subject is to use the они form of a verb without the pronoun они to indicate impersonal or passive action. For example, здесь много учатся. A lot of studying is done here, or people study a lot here. But there's no subject. We don't use они or студенты or anything like that. We just say здесь много учатся, the они form of учиться without они, to indicate that in general this kind of action is done. We could also say, for instance, здесь продают хлеб. Bread is sold here. And literally you're saying, here they sell bread, but we leave out the они. We just use the они form of the verb with no pronoun, and it has this meaning of bread is sold here. We can also have an impersonal verb, like to grow cold, to grow dark, to smell, something like that. So we could say, for instance, здесь пахнет свежим хлебом. It smells like fresh bread here. As a side note, pay attention to the use of the instrumental in свежим хлебом. When something smells like something in Russian, you use the instrumental. It's another one of those verbs that takes the instrumental. So, здесь пахнет свежим хлебом. It smells like fresh bread here. You can also have an adverb, especially an adverb like надо, it is necessary, or нельзя, it is forbidden or impossible, as your predicate. For instance, здесь нельзя курить. It is forbidden to smoke here. And without a pronoun, there's no subject or even an implied subject in this sentence. We just use нельзя to mean in general it is forbidden to smoke here. So that is a quick overview of simple sentences in Russian. I hope you found that helpful. Some of it is not like what we do in English, but it is very straightforward grammatically, so it should not be that difficult to master.